You know, you touched on a number of points there, and most people, especially the citizenry, you can understand they might have been expecting magic, but it's not magic. It's not magic, and I think this point has been made, by the administration that look, and you highlighted that people need to remember perhaps that in the campaign phase. I don't know what they would have done necessarily differently because everything that has been done, you look at the floating of the currency, you look at the taxation laws reform, whatever it is, these are things that were in the campaign, manifestos of these other people. Well, it's bitter medicine, but it has to be taken. And we have been told that, look, in the fullness of time, and that are not too distant date, because these reforms that are being attacked now, it's going to be very, very difficult to reverse them. Look at the whole taxation law reform that we're talking about. But there's still much to be done, no doubt. But it is ironic, perhaps, that things that the president and his administration have tackled and are doing are the very same things that his opponents in the election also said that they would do. But when the pains are biting now, it's convenient for some people, it is thought to now begin to say that, well, look at the situation. If we had been there, well, I don't know. But this is, especially when you see led by Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, who, as you know, is working on a coalition. He's working on a coalition. I don't know the success or otherwise of that. But, and what I mean by that is that the main opponent perhaps is PDP, and they have said that they are not going to be any part of any coalition. Whoever wants to join us, please come. But in a coalition, count us out. But, be that as it may, when you, especially in your field, the taxation laws reform, I think that's a big one, isn't it? And no, I don't know that anybody has really spoken against that. Your assessment of that particular aspect, the taxation law reform?
It is a laudable one, I must tell you. But the biggest issues we've had in Nigeria is not about laws. The biggest issues we always have had, have now, and may continue to have, is always at the implementation stage. In most cases, we begin to have selective areas. When you make a whole law, if you really want to achieve progresses, you must follow the path to adhering to those laws.
Okay.
But once it becomes selective in the areas that are of your choice and doing away with certain areas that you feel are not necessary. Mind you, these were carefully thought out laws that were contributed by lawmakers from different parts of the country. So it was an inclusively agreed law. So when it becomes a binding effect, it's expected that we should follow it through. But the problems we always had in Nigeria, and I fear the most, is in the implementation of these laws. Because yes, like you said, during the campaigns, a lot of people felt that this is the same thing they wanted to do. Well, if you interview them today, they'll probably tell you, yes, but they wanted to do it in a different way.
In a different way, yes.
On the day the president was inaugurated for this tenure, that he pulled off the petroleum subsidy regime.
Exactly.
I was on the studio supporting that bold move because for me, that was the very best thing to do.
Okay, I beg your pardon. Sorry, forgive me for interrupting you. I beg your pardon, Mr. Oji. But let me just make the announcement that, also to alert our viewers that the 2025 Ministerial Press Briefing Series continues. It's ongoing right now at the National Press Center Radio House in Abuja. Just for our viewers to know that. But we will continue our broadcast here. Viewers both here, locally and in the diaspora, can continue to view our program if they check our YouTube channel. So just to let you know. So we will continue our conversation. Sorry to, that's what I wanted to say. Please continue, if you will, Mr. Oji.
Okay. Now, the thing is, it's always about the implementation. Shortly after the president made that remark, I will tell you one bigger thing that I felt was the bigger issue.
Mm-hmm.
The president towing that part was the greatest move Nigerians needed. But now, what Nigerians was expecting, including I myself, was to unravel these humongous monsters that was called petroleum subsidy, that till today, it is yet to be unraveled. We haven't had anybody that has been indicted. We have not had any company that has been pronounced or said, okay, these were the people who these benefits were actually accruing to. And yet, everything went normal. Do not forget that the minute this proclamation was made, you had visitations by the governors, led by the current Ogun State governor, who is so, I think as of today, except if you stopped yesterday, is still an importer of petroleum subsidy, or petroleum product, I meant to say. And in their defense, in paying visit to the president, was that, okay, we're going to donate this XYZ. We would also bring in electronic buses, solar-powered buses, as a way to ameliorating the sufferings of Nigerians who were bearing the brunt of this whole, problems. Till date, I do not know what has followed after that whole visit. You see, the problem we've had as a nation is following through to whatever promises or agreed by our leaders and us, because the leaders are leading us, they are not leading their homes.
That's right.
So when they make a proclamation of things that concerns us and we agree to it, the best thing is to follow through. It is not the duty of the president to continue to monitor from door to door what has happened or what is to happen. We expect that there are ministries who are charged with this responsibility. So when such falls on the lap of a particular ministry, it is expected Nigerians should also hold those ministers accountable.
Okay.
Because when they fail to implement these, then we have lost a golden opportunity. And once we lose them, it's not easy to recoup it back. I'll be honest with you.
Yes.
The nations around us are not in any way at all near with the gift that God has given to us as humans, as natural resources, as the most beautiful environment, with all the good things you can think of in terms of, having to grow and better the lives of people. But here we are. It's still the same argument we have every time, trying to implement a single program that, if perhaps started by one person, always jettisoned by the next incoming person, because everybody have their own agenda to drive.
Yeah.
And if you're asking why there have been failures, it's simply because there is no nationalism.
Okay.
We don't have programs set